Okay, welcome to this part of the videos. In this section I'm going to show you how we're going to add in fact a little bit of the chalk of the drops and leftovers on the glass and also some of the scratches, because that makes also the surface a little bit less transparent, and because it's less transparent therefore it should be lit a little bit more. In order to achieve that, we also need, apart from these masks, we need some other masks as well. So we're going to load masks 3 as well. And so what we're seeing over here in masks 3 is the same thing. We have scratches from the surface with our fingerprints on the surface, and we have right over here this mark. So we're going to combine some of them as well, and for that we're going to use again exactly the same principle of what we did over here. So we're going to make sure that we're going to divide everything before. So take this one, input it into the second port, and we're gonna take A and input it into the first, or into the output over here, like this. So each one of these elements has something visible over here. Now I just went over this a little bit too quickly, because what I should have done in order to make this proper is make sure that the fingerprints do have like a believable size and proper proportions and everything, so that still needs to be adjusted. Now all these elements that we're not going to use or that we're going to combine, anyways, I'm going to show it with the layers that we have over here. But as you can understand right now, it's very easy to adjust. So if I discover such a mistake, it doesn't take me too much work to have again such a mask being rendered with just a little bit different sizes, etc. Okay, so how are we going to combine this? So we're going to combine this together with what we have over here, this green part, and we're going to combine this with these scratches and also with this, and all of these elements are going to be some kind of a mask. But we see that right over here we have like the things that are being covered are actually brighter, and here it's the other way around, so I need an inverse. Invert over here, and now with the math operations we can start combining each one of those using an add, with what we have over here. Okay, so let's have a look. How are we going to combine this? Well, we're going to in fact combine them with the lighting that we have over here. This is going to be used together with what we have as a mask over here. Now in order to do that properly, what we'll need is we need to first combine this over here. No, that shouldn't be necessary, because let's see, I'm gonna show that immediately. We're going to use a blend matte operator. So we have the first image going in, and that's actually not our first image. We're gonna need this one to be our first image. This one is the first image, and we have this as a second image, and we're going to control this all by using this image as a result. Now we're going to use just a red, and like that we can control everything from the dirt that we see over there. Okay, let me just show the end result all the time. So the first problem that we have is that the way how the dirt is being added now on the glasses, that's fine. That's just one thing, but we see all the rest being influenced, and that's something we do want to avoid. So how are we going to solve this? The most effective way is we can multiply it with this. We can multiply it with our mask that we have over here, and that should solve that problem. So let's use the mount operator, have this mask, use it in combination with what we have over here, and we're going to use a multiplication. And so if we're now combining the whole thing and we see to the end result, now we already see that we have like everything on the glasses right there. And we see the lighting, so we have everything now under control. So we can start to fine-tune this whole thing again. And what we're going to do to fine-tune all of these spots is the following. First of all, they're really not that opaque, so they're quite transparent, very light. So we're gonna use color correction over here. I'm gonna make sure that everything is going to be just very dim, hardly visible, something like this. So very soft spots, and we see like those spots appearing on the front. And perhaps it's even still too bright. We can make it just a little bit darker. Something like this. And so like this we have like the lighting of all those little drops and those scratches on top of the surface. Also the parts which are just a little bit less transparent. Okay, so that concludes for adding lighting to the parts which have some kind of less transparency.